Hello again, and welcome to the series finale of our HAAS career here. We're at race 22, the YAS MARINA circuit, and this will be the swan song for this particular live stream series because this file is tainted by being a day one patch file. So it's pre-tire mod, it's balancing in terms of aero development, etc. So this car is way better than it's supposed to be, and some of the other things are a bit different as well. Some of the staffing isn't quite right, some of the drivers aren't quite right. There's been a lot of optimization since we started this career. So we're going to finish the season and then we'll end this particular series, but I have been working on another HAAS file in the background, and I may break that one into where we are now, because that one is almost at the end of the season. That one's about to go into Kota, so it's 3 races behind where we are on this particular file. So what I might do is I might pause that at the end of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in the background, and then pick up where we leave off from this one with that file. I'll have a think about that, but yeah, that's a case of where we are. We are going to play through the final race just because I want to see where we end up. So we are currently third in the Constructors' Championship. We're fighting Mercedes. We have a 12-point lead over Mercedes. So a lot to play for here. We are fighting tooth and nail with them for third. They are outperforming us at the moment, so we'll have to see how things go. You can see we are ahead of Lewis Hamilton with Oscar Piastri. Mick just a few points behind George Russell, so we've got driver battles going on in this at the same time. Can Oscar stay ahead of Lewis? Can Mick get ahead of George in this final race? It's a lot to play for here. How you doing, Oliver? How you doing, Hull? How you doing, Jeremy? What did I think of qualifying? I haven't watched the sprint qualifying, but I have seen the result because I figured it would be brought up, so I had a quick Google to see what the result was. Yeah, very surprised by that. I will watch the highlights once this stream is finished, just to see exactly what happened. But I do know the result. Right, it's been a week since we were last here, so let's have a quick look at the car. There you can see our performance standings. Not too bad in terms of speed, third fastest car on the grid, effectively. Very good in the high speed cornering, not so good in the medium speed, and pretty poor in the low speed. Our DRS top speed's pretty good, but the acceleration isn't. Brake cooling and engine cooling pretty appalling. So not a great car by any stretch of the imagination. If we compare ourselves to Mercedes, who are our direct rivals, we have a speed advantage over them in terms of top speed, but everything else, and high speed cornering, but pretty much everywhere else we are, massively in deficit. They are significantly better than us in the low and medium speed stuff. Better DRS acceleration, better overall acceleration. Dirty air cornering is generally better than us, and their brake cooling and engine cooling better than us as well. This is what it looks like in terms of actual figures. You can see the speed difference. It's not that big. It's pretty insignificant. I mean, it helps, but it's not massive by any stretch of the imagination. But you can see we are massively down in terms of some of the G-forces in cornering, only slightly ahead in the high speed, and then the dirty air cornering, just look at the difference in performance there. We're at 25% low speed, they're at 37%. We're at 36 in the medium speed, they're at 43. They are significantly better than us in the dirty air cornering. So we've got our work cut out for us here. How you doing, Cobra? And Farah, good to see you. So, with all that in mind, let's just double check. Do we have any last minute points for our drivers? No, we don't. So, let's set our targets. We can get... both drivers in the top 14. Beyond that, I'm not confident. I'm not even sure we can get Magnussen into the top 10. Let's have a quick look at the circuit map. There's a fair bit of high speed in there, so we'll be fast in those sections, but there's some low speed and medium speed in there that's going to absolutely ruin us as well. So we'll try and get Magnussen, not Magnussen, sorry, Piastri into Q3, but I don't know if we're going to do it. In terms of our finish position, I want to try and get both in the top 12. Ideally, I'd like them ahead of the Mercedes, but we'll go for that. And it's the last race of the season, so we can't set a finish position streak because it has to be a minimum of 2 races, and there's only 1 race left. We are halfway through a qualifying streak though, so if we get both cars in the top 14, which we should be able to do, then we will earn 500,000. Right, into free practice we go.
We're at YAS Island in Abu Dhabi for the Formula One Grand Prix. The YAS Marina circuit was completed in 2009, and we've seen a fair share of celebration and commiseration over the years since then. The scenery may be spectacular, but this weekend, all eyes will be on the track. There's a reason why the YAS Marina circuit is used as a test track. The long straights put engine power through its paces, while the twists and bends make medium-speed downforce just as important at this challenging circuit. With the season nearly concluded, time is running out for the teams. Can anyone make a last-minute breakthrough? Can the leading drivers hold on? Only time will tell. So, without further ado, let's get started.
So then, YAS Marina. Good weather for the weekend. I mean, it never rains here, so not at all surprised by that. Let's swap out some components first of all. Which is our better engine? That's 83. The one we've got is 87. Okay. We'll go with a weaker one just in case we have an accident in practice or quali. We'll go with that engine because the other one, well, this one's pretty rubbish, so there's no chance of that one getting used. Lots of engines available for Oscar in his fight. Got plenty to choose from there. Yeah, that ERS module for practice, and then we'll use this one again just in case we have a big shunt in practice. And then for the gearbox, we'll switch to the weaker of the two for both cars. There we go. In terms of setups, I have a couple of setups written down. I'm going to give these a try. Let's start with a 5, a 12.5, a 3.7, a 3.3 and a 1. Let's see how that one goes. We'll go with an 18 lap run. And for Oscar, we will go with something a little different. We'll go with a 4.5, a 13, a 5.5, a 3.15 and a 0.6. Let's see how that works out.
Radio check.
How you doing, Mr. Water? How you doing, Trucker? And Marcel as well. Good to see you all. We still have frame rate issues on this track. As always, do the slow thing. There we go. As I was saying, for those of you who just joined, as I was saying at the very start of the stream, this is the final race we're going to be doing with this particular save file,
did someone run wide
because
there?
it is tainted by being pre-patches. So it has a car that's been developed at a much better rate than it should have been, because the balancing was out at the start of the launch of the game. And on top of that, you know, there is some errors with staff details, which is going to force certain people into immediate retirement. The tyres, obviously, we massively outperformed how we should have been able to perform in the first half of the season before the tyre patch came in. So this whole file feels a little corrupted for me in that respect. But as I was saying, I have been working on another HAAS file in the background, which I started a couple of weeks ago. That's now up to COTA. I've got that all set for the race itself. I've done all the practice and quali. I'm going to continue working on that in the background, and then when this race ends, we're going to stop, and then we're going to switch over. We're not even going to go to the end of the season. We'll do the the end of season presentation, but we're not going to go all the way up to the end of the very season and continue developing this car for next season, because this car is going to be retired. But what we'll do is, once we hit that board review, which happens a week after the race, we will stop, and then if you guys are interested, what we'll do is we'll then transplant other HAAS file into that point. So we'll pick up from the board review to the end of the season, going into the start of the next season. It's a little different. I decided to stick with Kevin Magnussen in that one, and Schumacher, and I spent all season trying to develop Logan as much as possible with a view to putting him into the car straight away at season 2. I've already got another young driver lined up to go into the reserve seat to replace him, and as I say, this new file I've been working on, everything is, everything's kosher effectively. Nothing has been done on pre-patch models, so the aero development balancing is correct. The tyre performance has been correct all the way through the season. The file is less than 2 weeks old. I think I started it beginning of last weekend, end of last weekend. So it's pretty fresh, and I think that would be a better fit, going forward if we want to continue with HAAS. Where is Magnussen? He might get a pole for me. Well, he's on my other save file, and he's won 3 races. So at the end of this Grand Prix, I will load up the other file so you can see where we are. It is set for the American Grand Prix race itself. We'll whiz through that nice and quickly, and then I'll show you exactly where we are in terms of everything else.
It's yellow hat.
Copy.
Okay, so we've got 87% on Oscar's setup. That's not too bad. Just waiting for Mick. A little bit worse for Mick. So we've got some work to do. Yeah, apologies for the lack of stream last night. There was some drama going on in the house that just made it impossible to stream. Hopefully it's all been resolved, but maybe at some point in the future I'll fill you guys in a bit more detail, but that's all we'll say about it for now. Right, we need to make some tweaks, so I'm going to go with a 12.5 on the rear wing. Need to rebalance the stability on the braking. There we go. Cornering, minor change to traction. Let me balance it that way instead. That might be good. We'll give it a go. This one is off. I don't think a 12 wing is going to be suitable, so I'm going to go to a 13, and we're basically going to switch this over to the setup that we were running. And actually, no, that's not going to work either. Okay, let me try, because that needs to change. Let me try going to a 4.6. What else can I change? Okay, let's go with that. Front wing's a little off. Alright, there we go. That might be a little bit closer. It's still a bit... I'm still not convinced that this is exactly what we need, but we'll give it a try. Oh, we got a lock-up and a crash.
We can take a look now. Now just focus on the HAAS. And that's an off.
How
That's
bad's the
going to be a
damage?
big blow to the
Hopefully
team.
It's just the front
Will
wing.
they be able to recover?
It
We'll
is just
see.
the front wing. Okay, so it's still early in the run, so we may as well call them in and change the wing.
Entry.
There we go, that shouldn't take very long. And there we go, back on the track. But if he breaks another one, we're going to have to do some emergency manufacturing. I may still have to emergency manufacture one. We've only got one spare left now. Okay, so we're getting close to feedback with Mick and Oscar. We've had another crash. We were talking about the VSC being changed in the patch. I can confirm that you can now run in...
Yellow hat.
you can now run in low modes and harvest and not lose ground.
Sounds like there's been a crash.
That's something I've noticed while I've been doing my other HAAS file. Oh, we've gone backwards on mixed car. That's disappointing. I think we have improved on Oscar though. May as well let them both finish the run. There's only a minute left. Okay, so let's have a look. Where did we go wrong? Well, let's have a look at Oscar first of all, because he is the closest to being done. The front wing's good, the rear wing's good. Everything else is just a little bit off. So let's go that way and just do that and see how that shakes out. So we're going to want some hard tyres, another 18 lap run. There we go. And for Mick, again hard tyres, 18 laps, and let's take a look at where we went wrong on this. Oh, okay, so it was a 12 on the front wing. On the rear wing, I was not expecting that. That puts the front wing about where it needs to be as well, which is quite handy. The braking stability is off now. Cornering could be correct. Traction is way off. So that needs to become a 1.9. And let's go with touch more front wing. There we go. I'm going to go with that. I think that is going to work. Right, let's do the driving options, and we're good to go. So let's keep an eye on the Mercedes pace in this session. They're going out on hards, or Hamilton is. Oh, god damn it, Oscar. Same corner, same issue.
Let's see what happened there. Now just focus
The brakes on this
HAAS.
particular car are atrocious, which is why this is happening. And I kind of, in a way, I feel bad for Magnussen, because we dropped him because he kept doing that. And it turns out it's the car, not so much him, that was the cause for that.
I'm sorry about the spin.
Oh god, the Schumacher
I
spins.
don't know what just happened.
Copy.
Ah dear, yeah.
That's a spin!
Yeah, the brakes on this car are terrible. As a pro tip for anyone who's starting out, improve your brakes. Improve your brake calling. It makes a significant difference. It really does. Okay, so that's my last front wing. I'm actually going to put on an older spec front wing. Save having to manufacture a new one. We'll put the other one back on later. you know, when we get to qualifying. Oh, we got a crash.
I think there's been contact on the track. Here's the replay. We're just watching the Red Bull.
Oh, this could be expensive. Oh!
You can clearly see the contact there.
That's never
and
good.
That caused a lot of damage.
Okay, so yeah, that's really screwed up Perez. It's destroyed his tyres as well as his car. Verstappen's car probably doesn't look so good either. If he breaks another wing, what will happen? And you can manufacture between... Yeah, I know I can emergency manufacture, but I only want to emergency manufacture one. I've got 3 wings at the moment, one of which is fitted to Schumacher. And I've got 1 spare. I've only got 2 wings effectively, I think, because I've just destroyed one. I can run old spec parts in practice, that's fine, but as soon as you get to qualifying, you are then locked into whatever spec components you have on the car. So if he qualifies with an old spec wing, he can only, if he breaks that wing, he can only replace it with wings of the same spec. Well, there we go. We got 100% on mixed car. That's good stuff. It's going to be a little while longer yet for Oscar. I might not manufacture a new wing at all. I might just save the new spec wings for Mick and leave Oscar on the old ones. I've got wings to use up, so save spending money unnecessarily, I suppose. It will lose a little bit of performance on the car, but at this point, I don't really think that matters too much. I'll take a look once we finish the session.
We've just had a car run wide.
Okay, 92%, so we gained 1 extra percent with Oscar's setup change there. Okay, let's call him in. The frame rate performance on this track is terrible. That's something that they really need to address. If not in this version, then certainly in the next version of the game. Oh, okay, we broke things there. Let's revert back. Oh, I can't revert. That's the best setup. Okay. So the front wing's going to need to be a 4 then. Braking stability needs to go this way, by the look of it. Traction. Why do I go on traction? I'm going to go that way. I'm going to go to a 4.6 again. Yeah, let's try that. And there we go. Big change there. I'm just going to write this down for next season. So we're just going to send him straight back out again. There we go. Do I think I look good for qualifying? I'm assuming you mean good and not goof. I don't know. I mean, the way Oscar's driving, we do look a little bit goofy for qualifying. I don't know. I'm not sure where we are pace-wise. I might do a quick glory run at the end of FP3 just to see what our pace is. But we're definitely going to struggle against the Mercedes this weekend, I think. It's going to go down to the wire. I think Oscar can hold off Hamilton in the driver's standings. I think we can just about hold off Mercedes in the team standings, but I don't think Schumacher's going to get ahead of Russell. I think Russell's going to win that individual battle. So I'm expecting Mercedes to outperform us this weekend, but we'll just about hang on.
We've just had a spin.
This car is really suffering from a lack of development this late into the season. I mean, this car hasn't been developed since the middle of the season, I think. I'm trying to remember when we dropped our last upgrade on. Leclerc running wide. I thought Oscar had gone into the barrier again for a second then. You have a feeling that Russell's going to crash into Max in the first corner? I don't think they're going to be close enough.
I locked up.
Oh, god damn it, now Mick
Let's take a look at the
doing the same
replay.
thing.
Now just focus on the HAAS.
Ah, the brakes on this car are so bad.
Oh, a nasty crash there. The team are devastated. They'll be questioning just what happened out there.
Okay, let's just call him in. That's the end of his running. .99 with Oscar there, so a little tweak to the toe will correct that. And there we go, end of FP2.
Good entry.
Welcome back to what is proving to be an exciting weekend of Formula One racing, with practice coming to a close today and qualifying set to follow. While many eyes may be drifting ahead to the big race, the teams and their drivers will be fully focused on the task at hand here today. Those who make the most of the free practice sessions will head into qualifying knowing that they've given it their all and done everything in their power to cement themselves a good, strong position on the asphalt tomorrow. So get yourselves comfortable. It's going to be quite the ride.
Okay, day one finished. Our cars are in good shape setup wise, not so good in terms of the number of parts we have left. I'm going to try that little correction there and see if that fixes the toe. Might have to take it the other way. We shall know after the first run. In terms of tyres, we're going to go with the mediums for this run, and let's have a look at front wings. So I only have one of these front wings left now, and it's actually quite a significant drop in performance on the older spec. Even the brakes are worse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put both cars on the old spec just to get through practice in case they destroy any more, and I'm going to emergency manufacture 2 more wings. So we'll have one spare wing for the race. In terms of running time, Mick can do 25 laps, and assuming it doesn't crash, that should get him up to 100% on his track knowledge. Oscar might need a little bit longer, but he has potentially got to do a second run. Well, actually no, he doesn't. Let's go with 28 laps for Oscar. I can make the toe change retroactively if I need to.
Radio check, radio check.
Right, please no crashes this session, boys. Can't afford to buy any more front wings. I don't actually know what the financial situation is on this team at the moment. Okay, so Schumacher is going to get his track knowledge up just about halfway through the session. That's good. Oscar's will be just after, but we're going to get feedback set up before then. We'll let him run till he gets 100, and then we'll call him in for that. And if we need to tweak the setup, then we can do. We've had a spin from Bottas. We've had a crash somewhere as well. I wonder if that was as a result. Nope, Vettel crashed.
Let's take a closer look. So this was the Aston Martin.
You see, I'm surprised we haven't seen a crash here yet from one of our drivers, because that's when most people crash.
And that was a...
Okay, did we get this right? Come on, feedback. Yes, we did. Excellent stuff. So, we don't need to call, or we don't need to send either driver back out. We can call Schumacher in very soon, and Oscar not far behind him. Okay, there we go. That's Mick done. Another crash. I think that's at turn...
There's been a crash. Sounds
turn
like
5,
a
that's
single
where
car.
Oscar
Let's have a look.
and Schumacher
We're just
keep crashing.
watching the Red Bull.
It's another Red Bull crash. They might not have any front wings left after this race.
There's the crash.
Box.
Yeah, confirmed.
So Mick's done, and that's Oscar done. There we go. So we got through the session without destroying any more components. Always a good thing. We can get through the race without doing that as well, and we should hopefully be in decent shape.
They've crashed out. Let's see what
Ocon's
happened
crashed there.
there.
Okay, so everyone's
Now have a
crashing on
watch
turn
of this.
5.
Looks like Ocon. A definite collision there. That's very unfortunate.
Oh, excuse me. A little bit gassy.
That sounds like someone's gone wide
So
there.
Ferrari did another Ferrari, by the sound of it, sending Leclerc out on the wrong tyres at the wrong time.
Sounds like we've had a spin.
He was apparently very audibly sarcastic and hostile to the team on the radio when he found out he was still in 10th. I can see Leclerc moving away from Ferrari in a year or two. Going to another team. I don't know which team. Maybe Mercedes. Maybe Mercedes will look at Leclerc as a replacement for Hamilton whenever he decides to hang up. Because at this point, I think Hamilton's pretty much guaranteed to drive no matter what. He's in a Stroll situation. As long as he wants to drive, he's got it. But yeah, I mean, if Hamilton's only got 1 or 2 more seasons in him, and then he calls it time, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Mercedes make a move for Leclerc if this continues with Ferrari into next year, because they are just destroying any chance he has of winning races, let alone championships. Right, I need to quick make a note of this. Actually, I've already got that one written down, so I just need to swap out some components then. So let's change out the front wings first of all. Let's put on the there we go. Install on car 2. Why won't it let me install on the other ones? I have to do it manually the other way, aren't I? Okay. That's a bit annoying. Which is the best engine? That one, easily. Best ERS module. Gearbox, we'll go with the best gearbox. And let's go into this setup here. So change this front wing. Why won't it let me change? Oh, is it locked it because we haven't even started qualifying yet? I should still be able to make that change. Why is it? Oh, there we go. Okay, maybe I just got a little confused. I was looking at the wrong car by the look of it. There we go. So, which is our best engine? 87, 83, so it's this one. We've done the engine on that car. ERS module, that's the best ERS. We've done it for Oscar already. And gearbox, that's the best gearbox. And again, we've already done that for Oscar. So, both drivers now on the newer front wing, of which we have one spare. So only one of you can crash. Preferably neither of you are going to crash, but only one of you can get away with it. Off we go. How you doing, Anthony? You've just had your best race. Do tell. got confused for a second. I looked at Gasly on the leaderboard. I thought, I haven't sent Gasly out. Of course, you know, Gasly's our Williams driver. Got temporarily confused there. Alright. Let's send out our drivers now. Yeah, give us the deets, Anthony. Alright, so this will be a good indicator of our actual pace. Not just for quali, but also for the race as well. I'm worried we went a little bit too early and we're going to hit traffic. Oh, we're going to hit a lot of traffic. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, crap, 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 crap. Let's watch Oscar try and thread his way through. Okay, he gets through the first car. Gets through the second, but he's compromised. Gets through the third. And I think he should be okay for the rest of the lap. What about Mick? Mick's got through. Hopefully he wasn't compromised too much. Split times mean nothing in this, so Oscar got held up on the line as well. Oh, that was a mess, but both drivers did make it through. So let's see, upgrades finally worked a treat. Norris running third the whole race. Took a chance at the safety car for New Sauce for 6 laps left. Then there was another safety car 1 lap shootout. 5th and 7th in the end. Which circuit were you at? Miami. Yeah, Miami's a circuit where good things can happen. A change of engine and some upgrades, if you've got them, can make a huge difference on that circuit against the AI, because the AI doesn't generally tend to change their engines until Barcelona, or sometimes even after Barcelona. So if you've got upgrades going into Miami, it's usually a good... If you don't, then just stick with older engines. But if you've got upgrades coming to the car, Miami is a great chance to try and sneak some points if you change your engines, because it gives you that power advantage over the rest of the field, and the upgrades hopefully improve your car's performance as well, enough to make you competitive. Right. No idea yet as to where our actual pace is, because we had such a fluffed run there. Kind of just snuck through by the skin of our teeth. So we're going to do a banker lap at the start of the session on these scrubs, and then go out at the end of the session on fresh tyres at the back of the field and hope no one crashes. Okay, so a slight hold up for Oscar getting past Alonso there, but not too bad. 8.5 tenths, 9 tenths off the Mercedes. That is on scrubs though. Let's see what we can do on new tyres at the end of the session. Okay, there goes the rest of the field. Gonna let them go through first. Predictably, the Red Bulls are looking pretty mighty here. Leclerc's run was definitely compromised for him to be that far back. See what he does on this flying lap. He's not going to get held up by Norris. I don't think he's too far back. You know, he's got enough of a gap between the two of them. And there we go, Leclerc right up on the back of Verstappen. Hamilton half a second off the top runners. Russell a bit slower. And Nick didn't get through, which is kind of what I expected, but it was pretty close, just a couple of tenths off Alonso. We are, let's see how far behind Hamilton. Just over 6 tenths slower than Hamilton. That's not so good. This is with a decently powerful engine as well, so this is where our car is really struggling. In fact, we are right on the back of George Russell. We can probably move up a little bit in the race, but yeah, in terms of straight qualifying pace, it's not looking good. Let's go with a set of scrubs, do a banker run. Okay, looks like we got through the traffic without being held up. 125.1. It's not a great time. I think we might have got held up given how far off we are. 1.5 seconds. I don't think we were that far off. And again, we are running scrubs, so... Okay, one final run on brand new tyres. What can we do? Can we get ahead of Russell? Okay, we are going to ride on board for this because it's our final qualifying of the save file. How are we looking tyre wise? We're the only ones on brand new tyres. Everyone else is on scrubs for this run, so we might see some minor improvements on a couple of drivers, but I'm not expecting anyone to significantly improve their times. We, on the other hand, should improve by, I would say, at least a tenth, maybe more. It's going to be close, but I think we can just about get past Russell here. Maybe Gasly as well, if we're lucky. If we can find 2 tenths, we can get past Gasly and up into 7th. We certainly don't have the pace to get up to Bottas. So no significant improvements, or any improvements, I don't think. Oh, Leclerc improves. He goes up to third ahead of Sainz. We gained a 10th, and that was it. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be a rough race. We are 6.5 tenths slower than Hamilton. We're a 10th slower than Russell. Points could be tricky in this race. We're only a 10th faster than Alonso, who is an excellent driver in terms of racecraft, so he's a lot more consistent per lap than Piastri is. Mick might squeeze into the top 10, but it's gonna be tough. I think we're gonna lose to both the Mercedes here.
Tension continues to build here as race day begins.
HAAS proved quite resourceful during qualifying. That puts them in a very good position to make the most of this race start. It was a pleasure to watch Red Bull's excellent performance during qualifying. Their drivers will now be looking ahead to the race itself and hoping to capitalize. And the sky is looking grey and cloudy today. An effective tyre strategy could prove very valuable as the race plays out.
And teams will have to make tough split-second decisions here if they're going to succeed. An exhilarating race lies ahead of us with the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Okay, so let's have a look at some strategy. This is going to be a two-stop race. I mean, we could try for the one-stop, but it's going to be a stretch. Our tyres are going to be useless at the end of each stint. That would be safer, and would also be quicker. So we've got one brand new set of softs for each driver. So let's look at trying to finish the race on softs. Let's look at that. That gives us a degree of flexibility. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, we'll go with this. It gives us a degree of flexibility. If we get an early safety car, then we can look at maybe extending the mediums, or if we're close to the pit stop, we can look at swapping onto the hards early, and then just trying to stretch them a little bit. For Oscar, his tyre wear is a bit more vicious, as we know. We will try and finish him on softs, but we may have to stretch him a little bit on the hards to make that happen. So we may go to mediums at the end. We'll see how his tyre wear looks. Am I okay? Yeah, I just took a swig of drink and a little bit went down the wrong tube. Right, in terms of starting strategy, let's go aggressive with the DRS and the fuel, and we'll go aggressive with the tyres as well. We want to try and make a few positions off the line if we can, so that when the DRS kicks in on lap 3, we're in a better place to try and hang on to faster cars. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we're ready for the race.
It's a cloudy night tonight, but otherwise the weather looks good for the race. Let's take a look at HAAS. Not as close to the front as they might have wished for, but we know the race order can change a lot during those first few corners. And it's Schumacher as the second driver today. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. The teams are ready to go. Anything could happen. It's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And it's lights out And away we go.
All right, Perez pointing aggressively towards Hamilton. He was on pole, I didn't even realise that. That's penalties. I didn't even look at the penalties. We're 5th and 8th. I did not expect that at all. Okay, so beating Hamilton just became so much faster. He's on pole position. He's going to sprint away. Nick gets up to 7th. Oscar has dropped down behind Russell.
Very good.
HAAS with an overtake.
Oh, and Oscar with a dive bomb on Russell there. Can't quite make the move stick. Oh, should be frame rates. But already you can see the gap opening up between Schumacher and Alonso. It was important that we broke away from those cars as quickly as possible. The Ferraris are being held up. I'm all for that. Given how many points Hamilton is on for scoring here, we need to try and get as many points as we can ourselves. So we need to get away from the Ferraris quickly and then try and stay away from them. It's not going to be easy. I'm also going to save Schumacher's battery.
Shot on.
See if Oscar can make a move. What's everyone else doing tyre-wise? Everyone in front's on mediums as well. Will I be doing F1? Will I be doing Football Manager? If and when it gets released on PS5, yes. No news as to whether that when that's going to happen yet. For those of you who weren't aware, it was pulled at the last minute by Sony. Did not pass certification, so they have refunded all pre-orders, and there is no release date penciled in.
Okay.
So we might not even see that this year. I don't think it'll be that long. I think we'll probably see it towards the end of the month, maybe sometime next month. But it's entirely possible we might not see it this calendar year. It might come out, from January onwards. Neither Sony nor I forget the name of the company. But neither Sony nor Football Manager have come out and said exactly, what the problem was, just that it failed certification. And there's no timetable that's been announced from either party either. Right, we're into DRS zones. Schumacher just missed out, unfortunately, but he should make it up under braking here. We have got a move done, I hope, on Russell here. Yes, we have, just. So we're going to calm down fuel and tyres. And we've got Oscar back up to
HAAS
P5.
with an overtake there.
Oh, Christ. Leclerc is already caught the back of this queue. If Sainz gets past Alonso quickly, then there's every chance he'll join onto the back of this train as well. We want to try and leave the Ferraris behind if we can. Sports Interactive, that was it, thank you. It was on the tip of my tongue, I just couldn't quite remember. But yeah, neither Sony nor SI have released a statement as to what the exact cause was or what the timetable is. There is no timetable. Like I said, it could be a couple of weeks, it could be a couple of months. You know, we'll have to wait and see. But yes, I will be putting it on the channel and playing the game when I get it. It's been a long time since I played a football management game. Very long time. Okay, both of my drivers dropped out of DRS. Oh, that's not good. We just don't have pace at this stage of the Grand Prix. If we don't have it on these tyres now, we're certainly not going to have it on the hard tyres. Our best bet now is to wait for either Russell or Leclerc to punch their way to the lead of this little train. And pull us up. Oh. Set box.
Charge on.
Copy.
Okay, so Russell's going to get us here, and Leclerc is almost certainly going to get Schumacher. Sainz is there as well, maybe Sainz will get him. That has brought Alonso back into this train as well. Yeah, this isn't going great yet. Oscar's gained a bit of battery. Now we need to stay with these guys in front of us, now that they're going to give us DRS.
So let's focus on the race now. What race?
Oh, it's getting feisty, look at this. Russell, Oscar and Leclerc. Barely a cigarette paper between the three of them. And then you've got Nick and Sainz closing up and the braking as well. It's got some real nose-to-tail close racing going on here. Oh, this was Verstappen behind Alonso. I hadn't even considered where he was on the grid. So, yeah, he's fighting his way through as well. That's another car that's fast to throw into the mix. Meanwhile, Perez, Hamilton sprinting away, and they're dragging Bottas and Gasly with them. Nick in danger of being dropped off the back of the queue. Luckily we're quick through that sweep and banked corner because it's a high-speed corner.
That's a new race position.
That's our one strength on this circuit. It's the high-speed stuff. And Verstappen has dropped Alonso. Alonso just outside of a second. Can he squeeze back in, or are we about to drop him from the train entirely? I think we dropped him, and I think... Oh, has Mick just about stayed in DRS? No, he didn't. Neither of our drivers have DRS. Oh, we're getting swallowed up by these boys here.
Oh, and Ferrari
We'll get it
just
back
gained
here,
a
but
place.
Alonso's going to get dropped, you know, quite quickly now. I think I probably should have started on the soft tyres. Use that extra grip and pace to stay with the front runners as long as possible.
HAAS with an overtake.
No, we're not too bad in this situation. Leclerc has fought his way to the front of this little train. So that'll speed this group up. It's just whether we can stay in it. That's the question. Gets a DRS, so does Mick. The fight of sights. And he's got us.
Ferrari
Oh, Mick's been dropped.
advance the race position.
Got to push him hard to get back in. He lost 7/10 of a second on that straight by not being in the DRS. That's ridiculous. I mean, that is something that is going to be patched out. Well, not patched out, but it's going to be tweaked at some point in this game's life cycle. We just don't know when. It's being worked on right now, and the team are apparently making progress. But yeah, the DRS is too powerful at the moment. Come on, Mick, give it your all. Pretty good launch. I think we've got it. Oscar's dropped off the back of both Ferraris now. Mick did not make the DRS again, but Oscar is keeping the other two behind, which is slowing them up enough for Mick to get into DRS range. Okay, that has worked out. We got a little bit lucky there.
We can reduce and lift off a bit.
Copy.
Ooh, safety car. Okay, it's a bit early. Okay, we're gonna switch the strategy. We're gonna make our stop onto the hards now.
There's been a crash.
Let's go ahead and book those pit stops. Let's get the ERS charging up and the fuel. Don't need to save fuel for. Actually, I don't really need to save fuel for Schumacher either, but we're going to change the strategy. So we're going to bring them in for their hards now, and then we're going to convert the medium to mediums at the end, like that. So change to mediums. And we can at least save ourselves a pit stop. This might bring us back into contention as the race progresses, but we are going to have to work through a fair bit of traffic. There are some soft runners in the cars that are going to get in front of us. They're going to have to pit first. There's still a lot of medium runners we're going to have to get through. Can we at least get Oscar out in front of Norris? it's going to be close. Oh, just got him out in front of Norris. Okay, that worked out nice. I'm going to save the tyres as well. And you know what, I'm going to save some fuel just in case, so we've got something to push with. So, Mick is down in 18th place behind Albon. I'm guessing Latifi hit Stroll at some point, or had an off at some point, and that's why he's changed his tyres, because that's not his starting tyres, I don't think. Or maybe it is actually. Yeah, because Vettel's tyres are at 70% as well, so maybe those are the soft runners, same with Ocon, that actually started on brand new softs, not scrubs. So Leclerc and Alonso are going to be pitting relatively soon, the others will go a little bit longer. Server error in the chat. You guys still there? Can you let me know if you can still chat away in there? Welcome back to the stream, Mr. Water. You missed a crash, and we've gambled on an early stop. Changed our strategy to go back onto mediums at the end, and we've gone for an early stop onto the hards. It has dropped us down the order, and we are going to have some traffic to fight through, but it's also giving us the chance to recharge our battery as well. So hopefully we can use that to be a bit punchy on the restart if we need to.
Safety car in this lap, safety car in this lap.
Okay, ready to go racing again.
Motor race.
Copy.
So you can push a bit more.
Yeah, copy.
And use overtake.
Copy.
have moved up the field. Here's the replay. Now just focus on the HAAS.
Yes, I'm on mute. Sorry.
And what a great move that was. Incredible.
That's the first time I've done that in a while. I'll take that double position
That was a
game
big
though.
moment. The team are clearly delighted.
We want to again try and get up the field as quickly as we can before the DRS switches back on again. We've got 2 laps before that happens, so this lap, next lap, and then the lap after that will be DRS-y. Nick struggling at the moment to get through. Oscar's definitely looking punchy on the restart. Yeah, let me know, Mr. Water, about Police Simulator Patrol. I'm curious about that game, but I don't want to shout out because generally simulators like that aren't necessarily very good. And I don't want to waste any money. Still trying to find a way through. He's in danger of getting completely isolated here if he's not careful. Need to get him past this Aston ASAP.
So let's focus on the race now.
HAAS with an overtake there.
Piastri's up to P11. Excellent stuff. Can I get past Joe and get onto the back of Alonso before Alonso pits? Yellow flag in sector 3. Oh, there we go. It's a Ferrari. That's Leclerc. It's going to drop him all the way to the back.
There? We can take a look now. Watch this. There's Leclerc.
So he's gone wide and he's had to wait for
right
all
off
the
the
cars
racing
to go
line.
through before he can rejoin the track. Okay, there's the DRS coming on.
Is that a new race position for HAAS?
We're still stuck behind the goddamn Aston. Yellow flag in sector 1.
They've gone wide. Let's take a closer look. Now let's watch this.
Joe running wide.
Romeo involved in this. They're forced wide, and
Didn't
there we
help
can
us
see them
get
slide
Oscar
off.
through, but it's got him closer.
And lift off.
Copy.
Right, let's see if we can get Oscar through. Alonso's dropped back, his tyres are getting really bad now. We're
HAAS
getting
with
past
an
Joe.
overtake.
Good stuff. We should catch up to Russell, I hope, given that we've got a significant tyre advantage. Alonso snuck through using his DRS. Schumacher's up to the back of Norris pretty quickly.
We need lift off. Lift off.
Copy.
May as well try and harvest a little bit of battery while we're stuck here. Let's do the same with Mick.
Charge on. Charge on.
Copy.
Zhou's coming back at us. Our lack of performance in the low speed really hurting us
Alfa
there.
Romeo
That
just moved
combined
up a
with
place.
no battery on the launch. Alonso and Leclerc have got to be pitting soon. The tyres are falling apart. Next, tucked in behind Norris. And there goes Alonso into the pits. So I'm expecting Leclerc to pit as well. Vettel pits. And there goes Leclerc in the pits as well. Right, how far are we off that show? A little bit. Let's try and catch up. DRS, but we will have it on this straight, so we should get back past Sonoda, I hope. Sonoda got the DRS off the back of Zhou, so maybe not then. Go on, Nick, around the outside.
Charge off.
No.
Copy.
Well, seeing as we're stuck here, we may as well try and save a bit more battery. We'll try and sprint when we get to the DRS zones. So Leclerc, Vettel, Alonso and Latifi have all gone into France.
Good job.
Schumacher passed Norris. Let's get him to try and push onto the back of Ricciardo. Oh, what a move! Make it stick, make it stick. Oh, that was phenomenal. I've got to see the replay of that.
An
Come on, show me the replay. There we go.
To gain a few places. Let's take a look at the replay.
Look at this, 3 wide through there. That is insane.
They've gained multiple positions. It's looking good for them. The driver's team there cheering them on.
Damn right they're cheering them on. That was a phenomenal overtake by anyone's standards. I'm sprinting because I don't want to lose those positions straight away again in the DRS zone. Don't really want to push his tyres this hard, but I don't want to fall into their clutches again so soon, having worked so hard to get past them.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
Good job so far.
Excellent stuff. Right, now hopefully he can start to just eke away. Let's have a look at Mick.
McLaren gain a position.
Swapping places with Ricardo under the DRS as expected. We'll get him back. Hopefully we'll stay behind him for the first DRS and then we can overtake him in the second. Right, Ocon and Norris pitting. What tyres were they on? They were on softs. No, Norris was on mediums. Okay, interesting. Looks like some of the front runners are going to start pitting soon then. Right, stay behind him here please, Mick. Now he's going to make the pass. In that case,
Switch, charge on.
push
Copy.
a little bit.
Very good.
HAAS with an overtake there.
Don't let him up the inside. Come on, hold him off. Alright, good job.
Save fuel and follow data.
Copy.
Okay, so we are closing down Russell, but we are dragging Joe and Sonoda with us. We're a little bit out of sequence with the other teams because we pitted so early into that safety car. But it has effectively given us a free pit stop. Well, not necessarily a free pit stop, we didn't lose some positions. It's given us a reduced time pit stop, which the others aren't going to get unless they get a lucky safety car as well. So we'll jump a couple of people, but they will have fresher tyres and come back at us faster. So we're going to be on the defensive, essentially. Anyone left still on softs? No, everyone is either on their starting mediums or has changed to hards. And Joe pits. That's one less car to worry about, and maybe we've got enough of a gap to drop Sonoda now. I'm actually going to up the fuel pace just a touch, just to make sure we don't drag him along with us. There we go, he didn't get DRS. Good, good, good. So we have enough pace and enough grip to pull away from Sonoda now, and we are still closing on Russell and Gasly, but every time they overtake each other it just stretches that gap back out a little bit more. If I had battery I would deploy it and push like crazy to try and get on the back of them, but I don't have battery, so we're just going to have to be patient, do it the old-fashioned way, drive faster. Don't want to burn the fuel because that's going to burn the tyres. and that's not something that we need to do with Oscar. He burns his tyres fast enough as it is. Right, Sainz is in. We might jump Sainz here. Gap to leader. Yeah, we've jumped Sainz. I think we might jump in with Mick as well, actually. Just. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. And we got him. Not as close as I thought. That helps. That helps immensely. Because it's another roadblock between the Ferrari and Oscar, and when he does get past, we've got another chance to follow a faster car up through the field again. Alright, 2 seconds the gap. We are definitely closing, and they're going to be pitting soon as well. It'd be nice to get DRS off them for a lap or two before they do so, just to give me a chance to put some more battery back in Oscar's car. Perez and Bottas pits. Gasly pits. Russell stays out. Okay, can we catch Russell? Get some DRS off him. Got to make sure Mick stays on the back of Perez here for as long as I can. Didn't get DRS this lap, but I am right behind Tsunoda. I'm even going to push his tyres for a few corners as well. Got to pass Tsunoda here if I can. Didn't quite have enough. Alright, Hamilton and Russell, Hamilton and Verstappen are in. And Russell's in as well. They're double stacking the Mercedes here. Right, not really a double stack. Hamilton's long gone by the time Russell gets there. But Oscar is now in the lead of the Grand Prix. He gets out just ahead of Perez. And we are already 2 seconds behind Perez. We lost the chance because of Tsunoda, who has pitted. So we now have no DRS either. So we just have to wait for Sainz now, fuel, and then try and follow him, charge up on him. I don't think we're going to be able to do that though if Sainz gets DRS on this corner. I think he's just going to overtake and go flying off into the distance. He gets the DRS, saw his flap open. Oh, we held him back. Okay, that's worked out okay so far. Oscar has Perez gaining very, very quickly. Perez has gone hard tyres this late, along with Sainz, Hamilton, Verstappen, etc. I'm wondering if they're going to one-stop. They did 24 laps That leaves 34 laps on hard. It's doable. Yeah, they might be one-stopping. That safety car might have just tipped them towards the one-stop. Oh, Oscar's a sitting duck here.
Wow! Wow!
So let's focus on the race now.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained a place.
More charge off this.
Stood.
I desperately need to try and get some battery back in these guys' cars, but it's going to be really hard to do that. We're going to give up so much speed. Yeah, Mick's already dropped out of range. And Oscar's about to. I've got nothing really left to fight with until we make our pit stops, so... yeah. Can I get a good launch and get into the DRS again? I don't think I can. No, I just don't have the acceleration. Maybe if I can close up under braking, I can get back onto this DRS here. I'm very wary of pushing like this for extended periods of time, given how bad the brakes are on these cars as well. It just invites them to go locking up into a barrier. And yeah, we can't keep up. So yeah, it's going to be a painful run to the end of the race, but we will have a tyre advantage again at the end if they're one-stopping, which I kind of hope they are. Then that will keep that tyre advantage and we'll be able to make our way back through the field. If they're two-stopping, then we can expect a repeat of this. We'll gain track position by pitting early, closing the gap back down again, and then when they pit, they'll come out behind us and then overtake us again, and we'll be defenceless. Oh, there's Mick in the background. He's only 4 seconds back. I didn't realise he was quite so close. That could actually help. If we can get Mick onto the back of Oscar, then these two can start leapfrogging each other, which will definitely help. We'll try and engineer that as soon as we get dropped by Sainz. So there's Mick with Hamilton and Verstappen. At least Hamilton isn't going to get the win, so that is looking more and more unlikely now. With Sainz ahead of him, Verstappen right on, and Perez in the lead. They are probably going to stop Hamilton getting the win, so that's good for us in terms of trying to hold on. Oh, Oscar, no! That is a huge crash. That's him out of the race.
Oh, and that's a crash! Let's see what happened there. Now just focus on the HAAS.
Did we get hit? No, he just
Lost
locked
control,
up. That's a
and
massive
there's the
smash.
The team are really disappointed with that. Let's hope it doesn't set them back too badly.
Okay, so it's a bit early again for Mick to make a stop. If I do that and then it's too early. What about if I went soft now and then soft again? That might work. That's only a second slower than our current strategy. We're going to lose some places, but we're going to have a lot of grip. We might as well. We might as well go for it. We're certainly not hanging on to third place where we are. So let's gamble. We've got two brand new sets of softs.
Box.
Copy for box.
Charge on.
Yeah, copy.
We should hopefully get out ahead of Leclerc, who's heading up a bit of a train. We're going to drop to Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas, and probably Gasly as well. But I'm hoping we can get out ahead of Leclerc. It's going to be close. It's going to be tight. Fingers crossed on this one. Ferrari's getting through. We're going to come out of the back of that train. That's not good. You would have said hard. We don't have another set of hard tyres. We used our other set of hard tyres in practice, so if we had a spare set, I would have gone for a spare set of hards, but the only hards we had were used. Look at it this way though, I mean, we're going to have a significant, and I do mean significant, grip advantage over all of the cars in front of us because brake soft. They won't last amazingly long, but it will give us the pace and the grip to make quick overtakes, get our way back into the DRS of the faster cars, stay with them a bit easier because we've got that extra grip, and then we can pit and do exactly the same again, and hopefully we can pick up the fastest lap point in the process. Because I can't see the AI making another stop now. If they were touch and go on one stop, this safety car's probably just tipped it over the edge. So, 29 laps left, including this lap. front runners. Yeah, I can't see them stopping again. Leclerc may stop again at 74%. He's a bit touch and go. Same with Alonso. They started on softs, so their tyres are a little bit out of sequence with the rest of the field. But anyone who's around 89-90%, yeah, they're staying out to the end. Ocon, Alonso and Zhou, they're all questionable. They may be stopping again, I don't know yet. And then anyone behind us doesn't matter.
Safety car in this lap, safety car in.
Yeah, copy.
Alright, we really need to nail this restart.
Road race.
Okay.
Not going to go full push until we get to the hairpin. Here we go.
You can push.
Copy.
So that's Ocon.
Keep this approach. Good job so far.
That's Alonso.
Is that a new
Currently
race position for
occupying
Haas?
the same space-time continuum there as Zhou.
Good job.
That's him out the way, and there goes Zhou. Past him as well.
Haas with an overtake.
Good job.
Haas with an overtake there.
Remember to use overtake.
Right, Russell up next. Miami wasn't a fluke, qualified 10th and 13th in Spain. They're still running the older engines, Anthony. As soon as they switch to newer engines, you'll see the performance difference. Not to discourage you or rain on your parade, but yeah, you're running better engines than they are right now. Monaco will be 50-50 as to what they're going to do, but come Baku, you're going to notice a big spike in performance from the AI.
DRS enabled, DRS.
Alright, this is the key lap. I want to try and get past
It's a race
Russell
position
before
gained
the
for
hairpin.
Mercedes.
We've already dropped Joe, which is good. We want as few cars in this train as we can possibly have, so it's less cars to have to overtake again when we come back out the pits. And it's a great dive up the inside from Mick. It's got the acceleration, it's got the DRS, it's got the tyres.
Good job.
Which I do need to save a bit now. I was hoping we could find a way around Gasly as well, just not quite enough pace on that acceleration there. I want to try and get onto the back of Leclerc ASAP. Take penalty to Canada, not Baku. Alright, there we go, that's the fastest lap.
Charge on, charge on.
Okay.
Okay, that there is an indication of just how much you lose in terms of acceleration when you're not deploying any battery, even on neutral. Just charging the battery there, we lost 4/10 to the back of Gasly there. 4/5. And we both had DRS. That's partly down to the batteries, also partly down to the fact that this car sucks in low speed cornering. And that was very much a low speed corner.
Motor race.
Copy.
This lap I'm going to leave it on neutral and you'll see the difference. Oh, god damn it. We got pushed offline by Russell trying to make an overtake and that dropped us out of DRS range. Oh, son of a bitch. And I'm going to have to deploy everything just to get back in again. Alright, Gasly is about to get dropped, which is going to make it easier for us to get past him. Looks like he just about hung on that straight, but I don't think he will on this one. Oh no, he did. He did just. Ooh, we dropped Russell. Oh, that would be sweet if we can drop Russell. Nine more laps till we make our pit stop.
More charge.
Okay.
Okay, this will hopefully get us onto the back of the Ferrari.
Very good.
It's going to be tight.
HAAS with an overtake.
Oh,
Okay, copy.
damn it.
Let's have a look. Now just focus on the HAAS.
This is why I don't like pushing when I've got crap brakes.
Thank goodness nobody else was involved. That was a big crash. And the team had such high hopes today.
He's
What a
broken a
shame.
wing. Alright, I've got to go back onto mediums. Got to change that front wing for the only spare that we've got.
It's a crash.
Points are going to be a luxury
No
at this
overtake.
point.
Copy.
We might just, you know, we've got that big train behind Joe. We'll come out behind that. We can fight our way through that, hopefully. Yeah, ninth is the absolute best we're going to get now, unless we get another late safety car. Oh God, we're going to come out behind Albon. Maybe even Vettel. Yeah, we're behind Vettel.
Save fuel.
Copy.
What a disaster this race has turned out to be. Oh! Ask for a late safety car and you shall receive. If
Safety
only
car.
we'd have had, well,
And follow data, follow data.
I was going to say if only we'd had that safety car when we pit, you know, if we'd stayed out an extra lap, but we would have been so
They
far off
crashed
the pace,
out.
it would have been, you know, it wouldn't have worked out for us. Let's save the tyres. We won't bother saving the fuel. We'll save enough. But this brings us back into the fight a bit. Leclerc has pitted. He's going to be going
Go
on to
ahead.
softs. Alonso,
Yeah, copy.
Joe, Ocon, Norris, Ricciardo, all pitting. All going to stay ahead of us because of the safety car. That's not good. That's really not good. I'm guessing they're going on mediums as well. We might get one or two of these guys. I've got most of them. Oh, just beat Joe out of the pits. But yeah, mediums for everybody else. We've still got that brand new set of soft, so if there is more late drama, we have got that option still of going onto a set of softs at the end and just going hell for leather. I mean, we're outside the points. We're getting thoroughly beaten by Mercedes right now. What's this going to do to the standings? In terms of the drivers' standings, Hamilton is not going to beat Oscar, but it's close. If he moves up another place or two, he could take him. George is pulling away from Mick as expected. What about the constructors? They're gaining 18 points. It will put them ahead of us by 6 points. So we need to get ahead of. Well, we need to get into the points. Leclerc is going to get ahead of Russell, so that's going to take a couple of points away from them. If we can get Mick into the points as well, we might just hang on to third place. And if it does end up level points, then we should keep third place because we have more wins than Mercedes. I don't think I've actually won a race all season. Join the queue, and nobody cares about Latifi, not even the stewards. He's going to catch the queue anyway. So yeah, this will be the last lap of the safety car, I'm sure of it. So 3 retirements. Oscar with a spectacular crash at the chicane we've just exited. It's absolutely destroyed his car. I'm curious to see exactly what the damage is going to be when we finish the race. And both of the Aston Martins have taken themselves out as well. So. Yeah. Interesting. We've got the pace advantage over the McLaren. Alonso, I think we've got a pace advantage over. Albon, Tsunoda, we've definitely got a pace advantage on. We should get into the points. Whether we can stop Mercedes is another matter. We certainly didn't get as much battery in the car as I was hoping.
So you can push a bit more.
Copy.
Charge off.
Copy.
Oh, great move. Straight up the inside of Norris.
Currently P12. Use overtake instead.
Copy.
Try and punch our way past Alonso here. Before he tries to do the same to Albon. Oh, he's doing the same. So we shall harvest.
More charge.
Copy.
Leclerc's past Russell already. That's good.
Switch charge on.
Okay.
Right, we should get Albon coming out of this chicane. Excellent stuff. Right, 2 seconds to go to Alonso. Well,
P11.
1.6 seconds. We'll make that up pretty quickly. He'll be getting held up behind Tsunoda.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
Leclerc's punching his way through the field. If he
YAS
gets past
enabled.
Hamilton, that's going to be a huge help for us. DRS open. Alonso stuck at the moment.
Hold charge.
Copy.
And lift off.
Copy.
Just going to stay tucked up here until we get to the first DRS zone. No point pushing, we're not really going to be in a good position to overtake. I'm going to stay like this until the chicane, I think. Now we'll see if we can affect the move.
Hold charge off this.
Copy.
Yes.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
Need Alonso to make that move. Makes that move, it gives us a run on Tsunoda. There we go, Alonso's through.
Use overtake button.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, let's follow Sonoda through. Sonoda's not making the move. Now he is. We're going to go around the outside. No, cut to the inside. Sold Alonso a lovely little dummy there. What a move.
Currently P10.
Right, can we get Sonoda here at the start of the lap? No, we can't.
Charge on, charge
We'll
on.
stay tucked up.
Copy.
And we're going to try and sprint past. See if we can close the gap to Gasly.
Push hard now.
Copy.
Alonso's going to follow us through.
Good job so far.
We might lose out to Alonso here in the second zone. That's not so bad if that is the case,
HAAS with an
because then we can leapfrog him. Oh, we got a slow exit. We've dropped him already. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but he got a really bad exit. How you doing, Packins? If we're lucky, we might even be able to sneak the fastest lap back. What is the fastest lap right now? A 1:27.8. Leclerc's fought his way back up to third. He's flying. He's on for winning this race. We're not getting fastest lap. Alright, it's close. Can we sneak into the DRS? We've got a lock up in sector 1. It's a red flag. Oh! Everyone's going to be on softs.
Red flag, follow Delta.
We can take a look
It's
now.
a dramatic
Now look
end
at
to this season here.
AlphaTauri driver involved.
Sonoda just lost it on the
And
braking.
there we see the crash.
Destroyed his car and ended up
That's going
parked
to be
on
a
the
big
racing
blow
line.
to the
Yeah, no
team.
wonder they red flagged
Will
that.
they be able to recover? We'll see.
Okay, so everybody gets a fresh stop. We're the only ones though with brand new softs.
Our race here resumes as we get back
The
underway.
rest will be on new softs, but yeah, everyone's going to be on softs. But we're going to be the
And
only
it's
ones, I think, with
lights
brand
out,
new ones.
and away we go.
Oh, Perez has got brand new stuff. So's Verstappen. Wow. That I did not expect. Alright, it's all to play for.
He was overtaken.
Copy.
Oh, and just before anyone thinks it, we are not in any way, shape or form on for a podium or a win here. We just do not have the pace to even stay with those guys. And even if we did, you know, it wouldn't be with Nick, it would be with Oscar, who crashed quite a long time ago now. Where our best bet is to get maybe 6th.
Good job.
Is that a new race position for HAAS?
Well, that's your first time seeing a red flag, is it? Okay. Yeah, if you do get a red flag, you get the chance to make some changes to the car. So if you've got a damaged part, you can change that. If you change the tyres, AI has exactly the same opportunity as well. So a red flag can be a good thing, depending on how beat up your car is. It can also be a bad thing if you are. If you played strategy to attack with a brand new set of tyres and then a red flag comes out and then everybody gets new tyres and your advantage that you dropped back several places under a pit stop to gain has suddenly gone. So yeah, red flags can be a blessing and a curse, depending on when they fall. Gasly is the great divider in this little train here. Hamilton is struggling to stay with the front four. They're going to sprint off. I think Hamilton at some point might find himself isolated. And then we've got this queue here. It's being held up by Gasly. We do kind of need to find a way through if we can.
Shut on.
Copy.
We need to push, but I'm wary of pushing for too long because we know what happens to our brakes. Our brakes go poof, and our car goes bang into a hole. Right, as things currently stand, we are staying level points with HAAS ahead of Mercedes purely on the fact that we've got 4 wins to their 2, so we get countback. We take the place on countback. It's really tight. If we can get ahead of Russell, then we pretty much guarantee that we're going to beat them. If Hamilton moves up ahead of ahead of Sainz, he has kept pace with Sainz. McLaren and Verstappen are fighting for the win. Perez, Sainz and Hamilton are all fighting for 3rd. If Hamilton gets 4th or even 3rd, we're probably going to lose this constructors. Unless we can get ahead of Gasly in the process to balance that out. It's going to be really tough here. The fight for 3rd in the constructors is going to go down to the final lap. I'm desperately trying to charge the battery now because we're going to need it at the end to punch through. Any chance I had of getting the fastest lap is pretty much gone, I think, with everybody on soft tyres. So we can't rely on sneaking that bonus point. When will they update the liveries? All a mess. They've been updated. That update's already available. I mean, you can see if I... This is the updated Alfa Romeo livery. If we look at Williams. Try and get the right shot. You can see that the Williams there has got a lot less blue on the car than it used to. They're not perfect, they're not bang up to date, but they are more up to date than they were. You know, I mean, those liveries that they were running were the launch liveries. Now they're running mid-season liveries. They're not perfect. The car models aren't perfect either. The front wing on the Red Bull is still sitting a little bit too high, but you know, it's an improvement.
So we have 4 laps to go.
Alright, we are burning these tyres really fast.
Mod race.
Copy.
It's a game, not real life, but they are improved. Yeah, you say that, Mr. Hutton, but it's a game based on real life, so yeah, it's a little frustrating when deliveries aren't 100% accurate, but you know, depends how long ago it was that they started working on them. You know, they were working on liveries that were correct at the time. But yeah, I mean, it used to be back in the day that the liveries didn't change. You know, unless there were, you know, back when they had cigarette sponsorships, obviously you couldn't do cigarette sponsorships in Europe, so they would do clever little things to replace the cigarette branding when they were racing in Europe. But, you know, liveries by and large stayed unchanged throughout the season. It's not like that anymore. I mean, it's the same with any sports game, you know, hairstyles on football players in FIFA.
3 laps ago.
There's always multiple players that have incorrect hairstyles because that's the hairstyle they had when they, you know, scanned in the player, or they made the model of the player, and then the player gets a haircut, and then all of a sudden it's completely wrong. I don't know if we'll get another livery update towards the end of the life cycle of the game. We might do. I'm working on improving the DRS and fixing the unlapping of the safety cars thing at the moment.
And use overtake.
Copy.
Camel sponsored Williams. Yeah, Camel and Canon back in the days. Oh, what a move! Oh, he couldn't quite make it stick. That's such a shame. That was a great attempt. up inside through this double corner here, though.
Good job.
Still side by side. And loses out going into the final corner.
Oh,
So let's focus on the race now.
Alpha Tower
2 laps to
regained the
go.
place.
We cannot afford to be overtaken by Alonso. Russell has fought his way back up in this train. That puts Mercedes ahead of us. Come on, up the inside, up the inside. Get the launch. Excellent. Okay, so what does that do to the standings?
Keep this approach. Good job so far.
It keeps switching back and forth. We pulled it back and then Russell overtook Bottas
Haas with
and
an overtake
put Mercedes
there.
back in the ascendancy. We've got to get ahead of Russell, basically. Or Bottas needs to finish in front of Russell. Last lap. This is the drama. Can we hold on to third in the constructors? At the moment, we are losing to Mercedes.
This will be the last lap.
We are losing by 2 points. If Bottas gets back in front of Russell, or if we get back in front of Bottas, we win the battle for third place in the constructors. It's so tight. There's a lunge up the inside. Can't quite make it stick. Come on, Mick. Give it everything you've got, please. Don't make me regret giving you full tyre push. Right, Bottas is ahead of Russell. We are now ahead of Russell. We're winning the constructors' battle for third. Can we get past Bottas
Haas
here and
with an
seal it?
overtake.
Russell's coming back at us. We've got no battery left.
We have no YAS.
God, this is so close. Come on, Mick. Drive like your life depends on it. There's the win for Verstappen. Hamilton finished 5th in the end, which is good. If we'd finished 4th, we'd have been screwed. We finished ahead of Russell.
Max Verstappen.
And we
over
take
the
third in the
finish line,
constructors.
And
Whew.
today's winner.
yeah. Car was
What
very
a battle.
tricky.
Very good job again.
There's been
Drive
drama
online,
throughout the
thank you.
race. We've had so many changed strategies. As you can see, the early safety car switching us onto the hards very early on. The blue lines, you know, showing where we were going to make our stops once we'd changed our strategies. And yeah, it just ended up all over the place.
He's living the dream. Exceptional work from Mick Schumacher. This is a good result for Haas. More than enough to satisfy the whole team.
Absolutely. Whatever they're doing over at the team garage, I should think they're going to keep on doing it.
That's right, and they finished the race weekend in 3rd place in the constructor standings.
And that's it for this season of Formula One. The teams will be working hard at the break, gearing up for another year of thrilling F1 action.
I feel the adrenaline starting to leave my body and it's just leaving me a bit... Wow, what a finish. Going right down to the wire there. There's the final standings. Oscar managed to hang on despite not finishing the race and staying ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Mick Schumacher did not have enough in him to fight back against and pass George Russell in the standings, but crucially, he gave us enough points to stay ahead of Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship. So we finished third in a very, very tight battle that went right down to the final lap of the final Grand Prix. Oh, that was amazing stuff. There we go. We failed our performance guarantee because we didn't get both cars finishing in the top 12, because we didn't get both cars finishing, essentially. But we achieved everything else. So a nice little payout. Research is done, but that doesn't matter. What actually was the state of the car in the end? Obviously, we destroyed the front wing. What did we do to the powertrain? Not that much. A little bit of damage, but nothing, car breaking. It was just the broken front wing. So there we go. That is third place in the constructors for this particular career. We've got a board review coming up. We're going to advance to the board review, and then we're going to switch files. So let's just have a quick clearing of the emails. There is the championship winner. Max Verstappen wins his second title by 4 points from Charles Leclerc, who had a much better season than he can manage in real life, because the Ferrari in this game actually know what they're doing, as is evidenced by the fact that Ferrari are the Constructors' Champions, beating Red Bull quite comfortably in the end by 43 points. We take third spot, as we saw earlier, 4 points ahead of Mercedes. A very, very good season indeed. And there we go, the end of season board review. Our target was to finish 6th, and we finished 3rd. Our long-term target was to score podiums in 25% of the season's races. We beat that target. We got 7 podiums, or 7 race podiums in 7 races, instead of just 6. So we beat the long-term target as well. The team actually got a big boost as a result of that. They went from rookies to noteworthy. So big jump in team rating there. The constructor value obviously going up significantly thanks to finishing 3rd. And drivers jumped up as well significantly, with Oscar finishing in 5th in the Drivers' Championship. Pit crew performance is going to dip. Regulation changes for next season, if we were going to continue, would see a return to the old school point system of the early 2000s, where it would be the early 90s. It was some point in the 90s, I think, when they changed. No, it was the early 2000s. In the 90s it changed to 9 points for a win, still six places. In the early 2000s it changed so that it was the top 8 would score points. This is going to see no, this is 90s points, because this is the top 6 only going forward would score points. And obviously the removal of the fastest lap. Big regulation changes for the cars as well, minus 10% to pretty much everything. It's kind of fitting in a way that this is where this season ends as such, because if we save onto the right file, that is the one. This is the one I've been playing in the background. So, we're going to quickly whiz through this race. They're going to get an extended stream tonight. As you can see, I kept Kevin Magnussen, and I've got Mick. I've still got Logan as the reserve driver. I've been training him up, putting him in FP1 every single race. He is going to be jumping into the car, not next season, but the season after. I'm going to be trying to sign Alonso to replace Schumacher at the end of this season. I'm going to have Logan get one more season under his belt as a reserve driver, swapping in for Alonso or Magnussen, and then he will become the lead driver for the team going forward. And then I'll be signing Jack Crawford as the replacement young driver, training him up for a few seasons, and then having an all-American lineup going forward. That is the plan with this particular save file. In terms of regulation changes and everything, this is pretty much identical in some respects to the season
We have beautiful.
that we are
Here we go.
going to be replacing.
It's the United States Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go.
So we're going to kind of whiz through this one a little bit. This car was
It's a race position gain
very
from
heavily
Mercedes.
developed. In the early part of the season, I put a lot of upgrades into the suspension. I'm on my 5th suspension package for the car. 3rd underfloor. Still on the first side pods, and everything else is on second wave. So 2nd rear wing, 2nd chassis. And the last big update I dropped was a front wing, an underfloor, and a suspension going into Spa. And that was the last upgrade package that I put on the car. I've been heavily focusing on research ever since then. But since that upgrade went on, this car has become competitive, and I've actually won a couple of races with Kevin as a result. Mick has not won a race, but he has got himself onto the podium, I think once, maybe twice, I think once. And we've been trying to develop him as best we can. While sacrificing him for Logan in FP1 every race. But you can see, we started in 3rd place with Magnussen, and that was on merit. That was not due to penalties. That was him actually having the pace to get up there, I think, on reserves. So we've got Hamilton and Verstappen on softs, and their tyres are going to fall away very quickly, so I'm not even going to push Kevin. I'm just going to let him stay behind them. Don't want to burn his tyres out unnecessarily, because their performance is going to drop away very quickly. Mick, we can look at trying to move up a little bit. How you doing, $86? Let's see if we can get Mick to move up.
Did somebody spin out there?
Spin for Yuki. Have a dive up the inside. No, not this lap. In this particular championship, we are currently in third as well with HAAS, but faring a lot better in some respects. We're over 200 points behind Red Bull and Ferrari, who are pretty close with each other at the top. HAAS are in third, and they are 98 points ahead of Mercedes. I think it's 98 points. And there's still, obviously, 3 more races to go after this. So there's Mexico, then Brazil, then Abu Dhabi.
HAAS with an overtake there.
Alright, so that's Mick up into 7th. Let's see if we can hunt down Perez. Magnussen now has the lead, as Verstappen and Hamilton's tyres have gone.
HAAS with an overtake.
Schumacher's killed his battery. It's just him and Russell have broken away now, so we can use that to our advantage to try and leapfrog like that and then get Schumacher recharged again.
Mercedes moved up a place.
And there goes Verstappen into the pits. I'm going to actually push and try and break away from Hamilton through here if I can. I probably should have done this at the start of the lap. But while he's holding up Leclerc, I want to try and break that gap. So to get this car competitive, as I said, I've done a lot of developments, some rushed, some intense, just trying to get, the brake cooling situation under control in this particular file, and that's what made Kevin, so potent a race driver in this particular career, because he's got high braking stats, but he is an aggressive driver, so he really attacks, and he still makes the odd mistake here and there, but nowhere near as bad as he was on our other file, because he's got the car, he's got trust in the car, he's got confidence in the braking of the car. It doesn't just shit the bed every time he hits the brake pedal. It's enabled him to really take advantage of his pace skills. You can see that since we pushed away there, he's opened up a 5-second lead over Sainz. I'm expecting that gap to come down because I'm expecting the Ferraris to leapfrog each other. But as you can see here, Mick has definitely got pace as well, even if he's not as fast as Kevin. He's still got pace. I mean, we're all over the back, all over the back of Russell here, as we have been for several laps, and we've been charging DRS, so the ERS over the last few laps. So he should, at some point, hopefully be able to make a move.
Is that a new race position for HAAS?
Okay, and Mick is now ahead of Russell. I'm going to push him. Sainz goes into the pits. I'm going to try and break away from Russell if I can.
Was that a lock-up on the track?
There goes Perez and Russell into the pits. Leclerc now isolated. Mick hunting him down. Leclerc has closed that gap massively, as expected. We're not front-running pace, but we're not too far behind the front-running pace. And Leclerc pits. We're getting close to the pit window for our guys as well. I'm going to start to ease off on the push. 6.5 second gap isn't too bad. Means I can pit both drivers on the same lap and no risk of them getting in each other's way at the pit stops. So let's go ahead and make the stop onto hards for both drivers. And we've lost a bit of time to Leclerc as expected, because they had a few laps on fresher tyres than us. But we got out ahead of Russell. And we're keeping the gap under control. Let's have a look at lap times. You can see Magnussen is actually lapping faster than Leclerc right now. Oh, no, he's not. Sorry. He's lapping within a couple of tenths of Leclerc. So he's not too far off the pace. I didn't really get the chance to charge his battery up to push him onto the back of these guys, but what tyres are they running? They're running mediums and we're running hard, so the fact that we're only a few tenths of a second off them per lap is very good, considering we've got, you know, a different compound of tyres. Schumacher's dropped back behind Russell, so we're going to charge Schumacher up. We'll let the front runners fight. We're just going to be lurking here in the background. Oh, we've got a safety car. Okay, what happened?
I think that was a crash. Let's take a closer look. Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo involved.
Take anyone else out, or did he just go off himself? Yeah, just himself.
They've lost control.
Okay, that safety car throws a real spanner in the works, because we might see the AI capitalising here. We're definitely going to see a pit stop from Verstappen. Probably Hamilton. This kind of bones us a little bit.
Charge on. Copy that.
But it does mean we can extend the life of these hards enough that we can go on to softs at the end, potentially. they're all pitting, look. We couldn't quite get ahead of them with Schumacher, that's a shame.
So overtake is available if you need it.
Copy that.
Mode push.
Copy that.
If you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
Alright, let's see how we do on the restart. Interestingly, Russell didn't pit.
HAAS with an overtake there.
Alright, has Kevin got enough pace to actually break the 1 second?
HAAS with an overtake.
Yes, he does. And takes fastest lap in the process. Good man. Sainz is fast. Look how much he's pulled away from Perez already. Yeah, that Ferrari is so fast right now.
DRS enabled.
Oh, it's a lockup for Magnussen. He's going to lose so many
I
places.
think there's been a lockup.
Man. No damage, but he had to wait for so many cars to go through.
Ferrari, advance the race position.
Bit of a disaster there. Alright, Mick is not hanging on to the back of these guys in front.
Race position for HAAS.
He's too far ahead to push
Looks
already.
like there's been a lockup.
But we're into the pit window. Can I convert that onto a set of hards, set of softs, and get away with it? Ooh, not really. We'll stick with the original strap. Yeah, that safety car really screwed us over, and then Magnussen's lockup has not helped either. Yeah, it's got a big crash though. Who's involved in that?
Sorry about the spin.
See, the drivers
Let's
do
take
still
a
make
look at the
mistakes,
replay. Right, watch this. There's Schumacher.
but they're a
What
lot
a
less
spin out.
prominent than they were. You know, the lockups aren't as bad. You know,
Was that a crash?
it's a lot harder for them to
Multiple cars, I
go
think.
spearing into the wall because they can usually get the brakes back under control before then. So penalty for Vettel. I'm going to go ahead and box my guys this lap. Okay, 13th and 14th is not great, but we have now got better tyres. So we should hopefully be able to punch our way through. Schumacher should get in the points. I don't know about Magnussen. He's a bit far back. He lost so many places with that lockup. What was he running? First, I think, at the time, and then, or second. And then locked up and he dropped down to 14th, 15th. What are we doing lap time wise compared to the others? Oh, we're doing fastest lap pace, 1:38. Yeah, that's a second faster than Sainz and several seconds faster than these guys.
HAAS with an overtake there. HAAS with an overtake.
Alright, Magnussen, how far off is he? 4.5 seconds to Zhou. New fastest lap for Mick, who is in the points now, so that will count. And he is closing on Ocon. Another crash. Is that helpful or not?
We've just had a crash on the
No,
track.
it's Stroll. Okay, let's get Magnussen through these guys as well.
Is that a new race position for HAAS?
Another yellow in sector 2.
Seems to have been a lockup.
Stroll again. Still not helpful. Mick now just 1.5 seconds behind Ocon and Russell. Boxed in there. There we go. We switch over to Schumacher. There we go. Magnussen's through. He's now got to hunt down Ocon. Running out of laps.
HAAS with an overtake there.
Locked up.
Ah, Schumacher. I've been pushing him too hard. I think that's him out of the race.
I don't know what to say.
It
I'm very
is.
sorry about that.
So that's a safety car.
Oh, and that's a crash.
So that's a set of softs for Magnussen.
Copy.
So we're going to get a few fast laps, hopefully, behind the after the safety car. Chance for Magnussen to initiate a flurry of overtakes.
Safety car in this lap.
Got it.
There's only going to be 3 more laps once we cross the line, so we'll just watch these in real time.
The safety car has left the front of the pack.
Copy that.
Mode push.
Copy that.
3 laps remaining.
Alright, come on. Make the move. Giving you
Okay, so
absolutely
we can start
everything
to
here.
close the gap.
Fuel,
Copy that.
tyres, battery.
At the moment, we're P12.
HAAS with an overtake.
The tyres are overheating. Just have to deal with it.
Two laps remaining.
Copy.
Charge on.
Copy that.
So overtake is available if you need it.
Copy that.
Come on, up the inside. There we go.
Okay, good job, Kev.
Is that a new race position for HAAS?
Go on, up the inside. Go on.
DRS enabled.
Good man. Right. We're in the points.
This is the final lap now.
Copy.
Okay, good job, Kev. That's one.
HAAS with an overtake there.
Mode push.
Copy that.
Nice work, Kev. Okay, good job. That's one.
There we go, that's 7th. Can we squeeze
So
one
we're
more
P7.
position? Can we get Gasly?
Mode push.
Copy that.
Just going to need a brave lunge. I just didn't quite have enough drive. But there we go. Nice little fight back there. 6 positions in 3 laps. We'll take that.
A brilliant performance.
And development points all round. So that hurt me badly in terms of my performance guarantee because we failed a lot of things there. But this is where this file sits currently. So this is still season 1. There are 3 races to go now: Mexico, Brazil, then Abu Dhabi. In terms of the car, this is where the car sits on the grid right now. We have lost a little bit of momentum over the last couple of races as other teams have brought some upgrades. There are no more upgrades for this car. This is as good as it gets, but crucially, if you look at the brake cooling, we are first in brake cooling. It really has made a huge difference to the performance of our drivers. they make less lock-up mistakes. They still run wide every now and again. They still do spear into barriers, as you saw in this race, but it's a lot less frequent. The lock-ups are a lot less frequent and a lot less severe when they do lock up. You know, more often than not, they can control it and they don't go into the barrier. Today was a bit of an anomaly. So I've worked hard to get the car to that point, and you can see here, second spec chassis, third spec front wing, second spec rear wing, still first spec side pods, third spec underfloor, and fifth spec suspension. I am going to have to manufacture some new parts. We've got a new chassis on the way. I think I've only got two of those now, so I'm going to need to edit that one to get a second one. Oh, I've already got the second one. I need to get another one added in. There we go. And I need a new... Is it a new suspension? Yes, another suspension as well. So we'll go ahead and manufacture one of those. Do this now before I forget. 7 days, races in 4. I'll rush that so it's available on day 2. There we go. As you can see, finances are pretty healthy. In terms of drivers, all we did was we replaced Pietro Fittipaldi with Logan, and we've been training him to take over in the future. I've been boosting his braking and his cornering, well, mainly just his cornering. Haven't done much to his smoothness. He's going to get a nice chunk of development in the off season, and we'll have all of next season to really flatten out some of these areas where he's a bit rough. So his cornering is going to improve, his braking is going to improve, his control and his smoothness will get worked on when I'm happy with his pace stats. Kevin has become a bit of a braking beast. I've only boosted him by 2 points in his braking, but I'm working on improving his cornering. In the off season, I'm going to start working on improving his control. Kevin's going to be with me for 1 more season, I think, maybe 2. We'll see how things go. I've got a point for Mick. I have worked on improving his braking as well, as you can see, and I'm starting to work on his cornering a little bit now. In terms of staff, I've made no changes to the staff. I did re-sign Simone Resta because he was in the final year of his contract, so I locked him down on a new deal, and got him slightly cheaper, I think, than he was working for at the time. If we take a look at his contract, I'm paying him 2.6 when he was earning more than that, so I've managed to get his salary down, which is good. I've been improving his stats wherever possible. Aaron Melvin still in the team. He'll be getting replaced at the end of the season. I sacked Gary Gannon immediately on day 1 and replaced him with Pedro Matos, who is who's an F2 engineer, so there's no audio with him, but his pit crew stats and his feedback stats are much, much better than Gary, who is not there. If I go to Scout for Key Staff, Race Engineers, there's Gary, and there's the difference in his stats. So you can see that Gary Gannon's pit crew management and feedback stats are appalling. Pedro's are significantly better, and communication is a pointless stat. It determines how quickly they develop a relationship with the driver. Given a single season, that relationship's going to be great anyway. If we go back and have a look at Pedro, you can see he's already got a great affinity with Mick after less than a full season. So the communication stat is a complete waste of time in this game. It really is. You want to focus on pit crew and feedback. Feedback determines how quickly you get feedback in free practice and enables you to get your car set up quicker. Pit crew obviously means faster pit stops. So those are the 2 stats that you look at, and you ignore that stat completely, which makes Pedro Matos a fantastic engineer, better than half the race engineers on the grid, to be fair. And then Ed Reagan, he's getting replaced at the end of the season. So these two staff members are going to get swapped out for new placements. I'm going to probably sign Josh Peckett for Ed, because I do like signing Josh. He's young, he's got good stats and plenty of scope to develop into, you know, a world-class engineer. But I might possibly sign Hugh Bird. I don't know yet. We'll see. And Aaron Melvin, if I can, I'm going to try and sign Diego Tondi. He'll be on a free contract at the end of the season. Get an excellent aero guy in there for season 2. Facilities wise, this is where we sit in terms of upgrades. So I haven't really done a lot in terms of the car facilities. I've upgraded the design centre once at the beginning of the season to get the third project option in as soon as possible, and I recently started the next upgrade to get the extra engineers for the off season. Next season, you know, it'll be probably towards the end of next season, if I can, that I'll get the final upgrading, because that's 32 million. I've just before the last race at the start of Japan, I just started the upgrade on the wind tunnel, so there's still a while to go on that, but that will kick in time for the new season. The CFD upgrade might come into play soon, and I want to try and get the factory upgraded as well, so we'll see how that goes. I haven't touched the car parts. I think I might have dropped one upgrade on those. I can't remember if they start. I think they start at just one level. In terms of staff facilities, I maxed out the race simulator as quickly as I could. I haven't finished upgrading the team hub, and I'm not going to this season. I'll do that next season at some point. Operational facilities, as always, max out the helipad as soon as possible to get the big income from your sponsors. These I've only been upgrading a little bit to get an improved attractiveness rating for the end of the season. For most of the season they've been at their base level, and I'm just, you know, a few days away from getting my first upgrade on the weather centre. So that's where we sit facilities wise. In terms of board confidence, you know, they've been delighted with the results. We hit our long-term objective at Suzuka, so I think it was Suzuka. It might have been Zandvoort. I can't remember where I finished at Suzuka now. Let's have a look. In terms of results, we'll go through them so you can see where we were. So we finished 5th and 14th in race 1, because race 1, you know, the HAAS is always pretty powerful in the first race, and then it kind of falls away a bit. Into Jeddah, we finished 8th and 9th. Melbourne, 9th for Magnussen and 16th for Mick. Into Imola, 5th and 8th. So you can see we're consistently scoring points in every race. Then we go to Miami, 4th and 6th. We had our first floor upgrade there, I think. Then Barcelona, 4th and 7th. Into Monaco, 6th and 10th. Into Baku, and we finished 3rd and 5th in Baku. I believe we had a new wing going on there. On to Canada, 3rd and 7th, so another podium. Silverstone, 5th and 8th. Austria, 5th and 11th, just missed out on getting Mick into the points. France, 9th and 10th. We struggled a little bit on that one. Had a couple of issues in the race, and just it's a very hard circuit to beat the AI on that one, unless you've got a very, very good car. And our development was starting to fall behind again by this point. Heading on to the Hungaroring, 4th place for Mick, and a DNF for Kevin. Had a late crash. And then Spa, this is where we dropped the final big upgrade, which was a front wing, an underfloor and a suspension all at the same time. And we got our first win of the season as a result. And a crash for Schumacher. Into Zandvoort. Back-to-back wins. Kevin got a win, Mick got on the podium. Monza, second place for Kevin, ninth place for Mick. Singapore, we had a strong race in Singapore, another win for Kevin, seventh place for Schumacher. Suzuka was the race I did before the stream tonight, fifth and seventh. And obviously you've just seen the United States Grand Prix, where we got back up to 7th for Kevin and the DNF Schumacher. So that is where this season stands. In terms of the points, you can see third place, we are 70 points clear of Mercedes after that race, and in the drivers we are 5th and 7th. So there's a lot of parallels between the season that we've kind of just got rid of on the old file and the new file. We're in a similar position at this point of the season. Our drivers are in a similar position. There's more of a gap between Magnussen and Hamilton, as you can see. And George Russell's pace has been a bit off in some of these races. But again, we've got a close battle between you know these guys here, and then we're actually in a close battle with Perez instead of Hamilton. So there are similarities in terms of where our drivers sit in the standings. There's similarities in where we stand in the in the constructors as well. We're miles behind the front two. We are currently ahead of Mercedes, but obviously they've pulled us back a bit, and they are going to continue to pull us back if they keep bringing upgrades, as we have none left for the rest of the season. So this will be where we pick up. What I'll do is over the next week I will get this file to exactly where we left off the other file, so the board review after YAS Marina, and that's where we'll start next Friday's stream with this particular save. At the board review after the final race of the season, and then we'll go through the closed season, the pre-season, and into Bahrain for the first race, and then we'll basically switch the files but continue the HAAS playthrough. So it will go into a separate playlist, but obviously if you've seen the first season that we did with HAAS, this will all be covered at the end of this episode anyway. So yeah, that's where we're going to leave it for tonight. I will continue playing for another hour or two, I think, before I go to bed. Probably get the Mexico race out of the way. I am still working on a Mercedes file as well, trying to make Mick Schumacher mighty, and yeah, that's where we are. So I'll be back on Monday with the Williams career, and we'll be going to Monza, if memory serves me correctly, because that's where we were supposed to go last night. So yeah, Monday we'll be back with Monza for Williams, and that will pick up there as normal. And then next Friday we'll be with this save file picking up at the end of the season, going through to the start of next season. So until then, thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back very soon.